This is the first episode of the Trump Show. And with me to discuss this evening is Saeed, Mustafa, and Kule Williams. You guys are welcome.
Okay, thank you. Before we go to Kunle, I want to say a special thank you to Trump because if he didn't win, we couldn't do this show for 4 years. This is going to be fun. Congratulations, Trump. And we want you guys to watch our show. We're coming out of Lagos, Nigeria, and DC, but we're all Nigerians. This is the Trump Show. And we're going to talk about all the contradictions, all the greatness about him, all the bad things, and how he's making American, especially liberals, look like fools. This is the funnest show we've ever done. Thank you. Let's get started. Kunle, what's going on? What are your thoughts on? What are your thoughts
everybody
on?
Trump?
Yeah.
Okay,
Give us your thoughts.
so
Yeah.
let me just start by saying first of all that whether Trump or Harris won, I know that there's actually no genuine progress for American politics and anything to do with the best interests of the American people, because America, as we all know, is under the control of a foreign country that is in the middle of a genocide and running an apartheid state. So you're picking the devil or the deep blue sea, let's say. That was the choice. So the reason most of us prefer Trump,
I choose
probably because of entertainment.
I choose the deep Red Sea.
Go
ahead.
I think it's probably for entertainment purposes. I think that he's going to do a lot of messed up stuff, but at least he's going to do it with flair. And at the end of the day, traditionally, the people that are supposed to be killing Palestinians really should be the far right. It should be Republicans. It shouldn't be progressives. So I feel a little bit better that the good guys who are doing the bad guys' work are now out. One of the things I didn't like, let me first of all say, I have no disrespect towards LGBTQ or transgenders or whatever they want to do with themselves. And this show is not about that.
Yeah.
And what the Democrats did with that and abuse it and take it abroad to Africa, to countries like Uganda and Ghana, and start threatening them. I'm not going to give you this or that unless you change your view on transgenderism, and using it forcefully. And I remember seeing it, and I asked someone that, look, this isn't how this isn't how the movement for civil rights came about. That what they're doing is not the same thing. And someone said, no, it's the same thing. I said, okay, if it's the same thing, tell me if there was anybody at all that got into trouble or lost his job because he refused to take the knee for Black Lives Matter. Nobody.
And here's another question. Nobody's losing their job for not standing up for Palestine. Kids getting killed. Genocide.
It's a movement, I mean, yes, I agree. I mean, the Republicans will turn it into something nasty about boy and girl and mock people who have these mental illnesses that is actually causing them. And I will insist that it's a mental illness because they insist on treating themselves by operation. And I'm just saying, instead of basic surgery, maybe you just need to do some more psychiatry, but we both agree that you need a doctor for something.
So that's a story for another show. That's for our cultural channel.
So that's one of the things. Roe v. Wade. I'm bringing it back.
Thank you.
Roe v. Wade, and a lot of that nonsense is going to be reversed, and there'll be a lot more reality. Let's look at the rest of what Trump is going to do. Everyone is worried. Oh, Trump, he loves Israel. Trump has betrayed every single friend he's ever had. So the chances of him betraying Netanyahu or Israel is just as likely as him betraying Pence or the people that raided the White House on
January. Hallelujah. Continue.
So if there is actually any small chance, because Trump is a loose cannon. Yeah, so he's like a Stalin. He could go either way. And even if he's gone either way, he goes to where people will like him the most. That's what he's done. So if you call him a racist, he'll say, I'm not racist. I'm only not letting black people in because if I do, the property will go down. Look, West is my friend. I don't care. And then he'll do stuff like that. And then the next day he'll go around saying racist things. Because
can I say one thing? Can I say one thing?
Particular group is racist. I'll encourage them because they like me to be racist.
Can I say one thing?
Say I love black people. That's it.
And I'm going to let you continue, but here's the inverse also. His vice president called him a Nazi back in the day, and now he hired the guy as a vice president. It shows you how strategic Trump is. He doesn't care what you said about him yesterday. It's whether he can use you today.
Yes,
because JD Vance said I don't like Trump. He's a racist Nazi. Then JD Vance is out. This is the greatest man in America. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, we've forgotten what he did to his lawyer, Cohen.
Yeah.
That chap that just got out of jail recently, the horrible one with the beard and everything.
Oh yeah, the ugly one. Yeah.
Yeah, the ugly one with the glasses. And
Yeah.
that's all those characters, all those people that were his friends at the beginning, and then all the members of government, his army chief of staff,
General Petraeus,
Petraeus, yes. And then
Petraeus.
so many of the people that were his friends, he threw them under the bus. So I'm not
He's
worried
going to
about
throw
Israel.
Netanyahu under the bus because he knows
he's
that the U.S. can't keep, because it's not practical. He doesn't want to get kicked out of office because already people are beginning to protest. What is it? Antifa. They're already beginning to throw him out.
Trump.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So he's going to make sure that he go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead. Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah. Classic Trump at the rallies when the protests put up that fight to try to to demonstrate. At one point, he was saying, "Look at the horrible police brutality," and then the next time he said, "Look at those stupid students are breaking the law."
Yeah.
He said one thing for the liberals, one thing for the right, and one thing for the pro-Palestinians.
But you know what they say? Chaos is good. Chaos is good for a corrupt system. Chaos is good, and Trump is chaos. He's chaos.
Yes, he is chaos. He can mess and the Zionists actually in American politics. The Zionist people in American politics don't like him. The Israelis like him because they know that he's a far-right, apparently racist person. That's why they like him. But I've also seen Trump say, Netanyahu, I thought he wanted to do a deal, but he doesn't want to do a deal. And Trump is lost in his own vanity.
Trump is all about the deal. He's all about the deal.
He's all about the deal, and he's a narcissist, and he just wants to be the greatest. I think that is going to be, and yes, he lies a lot. He's a criminal, he's a rapist, he's this, he's that. And I don't know how much is true and how much isn't because I'm not a witness to it. But I do know when you want to bring somebody.
But so is Biden and Bill Clinton.
Yes, I mean, the entire campaign that Harris launched that I noticed was just, oh, Trump is a bad person.
And she called him a Nazi. She called him a Nazi and a fascist.
Look, most of the things, I mean, I won't complain to anybody, but most of the bad stuff that he's done, almost all of us have. If anybody was going to hear all the bad things that they've done, none of them can say it on TV and
Bobby, how much for 10 minutes?
So exactly. So I mean, and he says stupid things. Even we can say sometimes off camera, we can say the wrong things. It's just human nature to just find humor in the wrong or right. So I'm not bothered about that about Trump. Trump is a loose cannon. He has his own money. So when he's collecting money from AIPAC or any of these people, it's short term to maybe pay off a prostitute or a debt or a scandal. It's not like he's using it to live and build his empire.
And also, can I say one thing? He used less money because he gets free airtime. So Trump didn't have to spend as much money because his name is so big that people play him day in, day out. So he gets exposure. He doesn't need money. That's why he's a loose cannon too. You can't hold it. Because look, Arshur, who are we talking about? Trump. All right, thank you very much, Kule. You're on form today. Thank you for schooling some people early. I won't say their names because they're going to be watching this later. All right.
I love them. They're my people. Don't mind.
I love them sometimes.
If you want to come back and fight me, they're very welcome to fight me, and I'll still have a drink for them afterwards.
Okay, Saeed, what are your thoughts? What angle do you want to take about this whole thing?
Also,
Saeed, before we go on, you were right. And I think we all agree those polls were bogus. Continue.
Bogus, yeah. So, firstly, I want to say that I don't quite agree with most of what Mr. Kunle said.
Okay.
I think
he's a Trump fan.
I think he too is bought into the CNN and legacy media narrative. And these are my reasons. Okay. He's saying he's a rapist and they are fine. You already cleared yourself that you are not.
I don't think he's a rapist, to be honest with you, but go ahead.
Please just let me know, please.
So I think that he's had a few body incidents.
I'm just watching before
forget your point.
Before your link came in, I was watching the View. Those ladies now that do this program on ABC or something. These people, they don't want to change. Upon the fact that they said it themselves that Trump won on a landslide. Majority of them couldn't believe it. It was so it was so clear and glaring to the fact that before the end of today, we already know the winner. Even before
what happened in Michigan?
he got to, even before
he
he
lost
got to
in Michigan.
270.
Yeah. Jill Stein got twice as many votes as Kamala Harris in Michigan.
Yeah.
Jill Stein got 33% of the vote in Michigan.
So can I add one question?
15.
So let me add one thing, guys. This is my only moment that I'm going to speak. Oprah Winfrey said that if you don't vote for Harris and you vote, according to Jill Stein, and you vote for Trump, you will never be able to vote in your life again. So she's saying that Trump is anti-democrat. Let me finish my point.
I was coming to that. I was coming to that point.
Okay, but let me do that point, then we'll come to you. Let me get to that point. So my argument is that the Democratic Party fought to get Jill Stein off of the ballot. So it's ironic that they're charging Trump with what they are doing. They're anti-democratic. They wanted to take Jill Stein off the ballot so they could win. And they said Jill Stein is a threat to democracy because we don't want Trump. No, these guys are fascist charlatans. Continue, Saeed, and thank you, Saeed.
To continue from where you stopped, can you imagine Oprah Winfrey saying that the women won't have the right to vote? I think these are words that can trigger some people that their mental ideology is not.
It will
steady,
lead to
or they can't
assassination
control
attempt. Assassination attempt.
I mean, those words are just too heavy. How can you say Trump will not let women to vote anymore? The abortion, these things are very, very clear. On the abortion is being taken back to the state for each state to determine. It is very crystal clear. On this, women are not going to vote. How is that possible in American Constitution? It can never be possible. But they keep telling this
let me tell you. So here's the word they use for it. Cool. Here's the word they use for it: hyperbole. I could just call it hyperbole.
I love that word.
Yeah,
just
hyperbole.
And
it's rhetoric.
You can never win. Left or right is 50-50 down the middle. Trump said each state should make up their own law for whatever they want.
And also they can have nuanced laws. You can't do 7 month abortion.
And funny thing, to buttress to that my point, could you believe that 2020 till now, if Joe Biden and the Democrats, they believe so much in this Roe, why haven't they done something about it?
No, they could have enshrined it. They could have enshrined it into the Constitution.
Trump has frustrated the Supreme Court.
No, but Kool-Aid, before that, they had...
That's why.
So Kool-Aid, before that, Obama had the power. No, Kool-Aid, before that, Obama had the power to put in justices and do it. The reason the Democrats didn't want to do it is they wanted to vilify the Republicans and say, you see, the Republicans blocked it. The Democrats don't care about abortion. They want the Republicans to reject it so they can use it against them.
But it's actually a distraction because the most important thing is about improving your standard of living. It's not about transgenderism and abortion. Those are
I think so. Here's what I think. I think abortion is a legitimate issue, but the number one issue is the economy and crime and the racism in America, and they don't agenda that. So
the abortion thing that you're talking about is a hoax. They are saying Trump's abortion law, They are repeating, even CNN on their major program. They are repeating these lies.
Okay, but Saeed, can I have one point? Saeed, here's my only problem. Saeed, here's my only problem. In states like Texas, if a girl is 17-year-old and her mother drives her to do abortion, they would now put her mother and the doctor in jail. That's too much. That needs to be that needs to be protected by the federal government. That you can't do that to people. You understand what I'm saying? You can't put.
I get you.
So what I'm saying, we don't want to go to the other extreme with states where they can say in some states, in Texas, if you order abortion pill the day after sex, they can put you in jail. That is unacceptable. That needs to be challenged.
There's two extremes to both sides.
I agree with you, Saeed, but these extremes need to be balanced. That's all I'm saying. Because I don't want people to say that we're one-sided on this.
No.
Yeah. Because in
Texas, from what you just said now, how is it a Trump problem? Is that not a legislation problem?
No, but here's my argument. They will say that Trump gave too much power to the states, so they will blame him even if he didn't have the intention. They'll just blame him because of the results.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I'm being fair. I'm just saying that people have the right to argue.
Them to be fair, they are not fair about it at all.
Both sides aren't fair, but I just don't want to sound like we're leaning too far to Trump because I think there needs to be balance. But I do think that, for example, in Saudi Arabia, abortion is illegal and you can go to jail or you could get killed. So my thing is, don't tell other people how to live their government. If they want to do that in Texas, maybe they should be allowed. But they can't take it too far where, for example, in Texas, they want to, let's say a woman in Texas orders abortion pills from from New York. The people in Texas will try to send police to New York to bring them to Texas to arrest them. That's going too far.
Chief, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but I think there's this point people are still not getting, or should I say a lot of, or some Americans are not getting, from my own point of view, from the way I'm seeing it. The abortion thing, it is not, they take it away.
It's not the biggest issue. It's not the biggest issue.
Yeah, it's not the biggest issue.
It's not supposed to be, but okay, now, this law that you're talking about in Texas, do you know that it is the legislator, the assembly people that actually wrote it and passed it into law?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that but my argument, but here's my problem.
Hold on. Can you let me land, please? Can you let me land?
Yeah, but my thing is that it should not be allowed. It should not be allowed. It should be unconstitutional for a federal government to do that. No, for a state government to do that.
This is my point. My point now is what you're saying. If majority of Texans people are not okay with that particular section of the law that you're talking about, they should find a way to repeal it or do something about it.
No, it has to be a federal. To me, it's a federal issue. For example, what if in Texas they say we believe we should have slaves? Should we only leave it up to Texas? No, it's up to the whole country, not just Texas. What if Texas says black people should be slaves in Texas? No, the federal government has to step in. So on some abortion cases, you can't arrest a woman for taking the morning after pill because after sex. No, the federal government has to step in. It's not just about the Texas people. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what about the transgendering of a child within 30 minutes on the other extreme of liberation?
I don't believe any child under 18 should be allowed to have sexual reassignment. It's not even the parents' right to give that child the right, and the child is too young. They should wait till they're 18. That is common sense.
Yes.
I agree with you guys. Yeah, I agree with you guys.
And you said there is something that Trump said that you just mentioned now. Common sense. All these things is just common sense. Like you just said now, it is common sense for someone to have sex in few hours or something. I want to take pills to make sure nothing goes on. It is common sense that she is trying to avoid all these things. You understand? That one is common sense. But most of these laws that Democrats are pushing, it is even beyond common sense.
Like telling a man he can compete with women in boxing.
And Mr. Kule said something.
A man identifying as a woman and then going into a jail.
If I were a woman, I would be insulted. I would be insulted if I were a woman.
Mr. Kule said something. Mr. Kule said something about mental disorder or something that, okay, if you are saying it is not mental disorder and you are using
I'm not a doctor. That's not what I don't mean that they're mad. I'm just saying that there's a part of their brain affecting their sexuality that needs to be adjusted to suit their body.
I think it might be a personality issue.
Yes, now.
Don't go and lose that. We won't lose our ratings. So. Anyway, let's go. No, this is a very. I like our show. Hey, you guys, I like this show. I like this. This is our best show so far.
All human beings, so we come in all shades and colors.
You guys, let me tell you something. I'm trans dog. Kule, I'm trans dog, which means that I'm a dog. Hold on, you guys. Hold on, I'm a dog. I'm not a human being. I'm a dog. Let me finish. I'm not a human being. I'm a dog. So if I drink now and have a car accident, they can't put me in jail because I'm not a human being. I'm a dog. You see what I'm saying?
I'm lifting weights tomorrow,
I'm trans dog.
I'm
trans dog. Afolabi, what are your thoughts? We don't want to leave Afolabi out.
You can imagine that.
Absolutely. In my own opinion, the most important thing for America is economic issues and immigration. Those are the key drivers. And
immigration.
Yes, and
immigration is a big problem.
And in my own opinion, the Democrats have failed catastrophically. The U.S. electorate concerns center around cost of living, immigration. Many voters attribute to ineffective policies by the Democratic administration. And Kamala Harris, in clear terms, couldn't tell us what she was going to do that was better than the Biden administration, other than continuing in the same miserable manner. Trump's focus on these issues resonates with Americans, especially facing inflation and perceived border crisis, positioning him as a candidate to address these immediate and tangible concerns. So it was a no-brainer. Kamala Harris did not give us a direction. She did not give us in
Yeah,
clear
you know
time.
that thing about the border is a bit of a scam there, because those illegal aliens are actually making a lot of money for America. It's a cultural thing. It's not an economic
with
thing.
weapons, especially with the guys who are making money off of the drugs and weapons. I'm serious.
I'm talking about whether the CIA was it not drug money that kept the economy alive during COVID?
Okay, but Kunle, can I say something? Here's the only thing I have to say.
Here's what I have to say. Okay.
Can I add one thing? What Trump wanted to do was that when they catch you as an illegal alien, they won't initially deport you if you're not a criminal. But now you have to sign your name and sign tax forms so that your money you're making, you pay taxes to build America. You get my point? I know people.
But those people are living below minimum wage. They're working below minimum wage.
Yeah, but it's still the law. The law is the law. The law is the law.
Look,
poor people in America, poor black people have to pay taxes.
Look at the way you use common sense now to address Trump's points.
Yeah.
If it's Democrat, Democrat think
because clearly here's the problem.
Change the whole narrative.
Here's the problem. If you're an illegal immigrant and you commit a crime and nobody has your fingerprints or anything, then we can't find out who catches the crime. So at least they should identify the people, take their numbers and stuff, and then see if you can assimilate them into the country.
Yeah. The problem is that once you take their fingerprints and take the identity, you can't pay them below minimum wage anymore, and then they can't afford them.
And so this is an economic problem. Yeah, it's a big problem.
It's an economic issue there, because the reason that they're so valuable, they make money. But then the other side of it is the social aspect. Whether it's true or whether it's not true, I think the social aspect is a preconception, because all people are capable of crime and doing good, whether they're black or white or red or yellow.
I agree.
I mean, I would say that Mexico is a race of criminals, or America is a race of criminals. They're just human beings.
But here's my argument. So clearly, here's my argument. So Mexicans aren't criminals, but the problem is that the people who are fleeing the borders and stuff like that are suffering from crime and stuff, and they're being taken opportunistically. So and also even within the U.S., cartels are working with the U.S. government to allow people to come in with drugs and it's causing crime. So it's a problem, and the problem needs to be addressed, because the U.S. has 100,000 people die every year from fentanyl, which is burning across the border. So we're not saying, oh, we hate people from across the border, but we know there is a problem in which...
Where does fentanyl start its journey from? Is it not China?
No, fentanyl is made synthetically in China. But the thing is that it's also made in factories in Mexico. It's made in factories. No, it's made in factories in Mexico, because they know the formula for it also, but they have to get some of the ingredients from China, ephedrine. But my thing is that the entry point for drugs into America is Mexico, not just Mexico. It's Central America, and it's also those islands, Dominican Republic. So all we're saying is that even regardless, you don't have to say send immigrants out, but we have to police the border and think, because when people come from Nigeria, they look for us. Or when we come to the U.S., so we're not doing anything bad.
You have to police the border. No doubt. I'm not saying don't police the border. I'm not against it. I'm just saying that there are pros and cons to it that you have to balance out.
And that's why we have to look for common sense. A common sense.
You have to look for building a wall and all of that nonsense. I don't really.
And also, we know that the reason the U.S. has a labor problem in which they have to pay people cheap is because they spend trillions of dollars on military, so they can't pay workers what they should be paid. So that the real problem is the U.S. needs to stop being a military industrial empire and needs to become more insular and focus on its internal economy. What do you think, Afolabi? Yeah,
I agree with you. And one of the reasons why I think Kamala Harris lost this election is because there was no clear policy direction, especially regarding immigration and international affairs. Trump's policies may be contentious, but they're concrete and they have a clear direction.
And I always say that even if you have a bad plan is
Kamala will stab you in the back, Trump will stab you in the chest. That's the difference.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go. What thoughts do you have, Saeed? Because I know there were some points you wanted to make also. And also, we have to remember this show is for the next 4 years, so we don't have to finish all the Amala today.
Don't worry, we'll get plenty
Amala
of
material
from our good friend, Mr. Donald.
I want to stylishly correct Mr. Afolabi. Don't let the Democrats hear you when you are saying Kamala. They will say it's Kamala.
Kamala.
Yeah.
Kamala.
Yeah, Kamala.
Okay, guys, I want to add one more thing. Guys, I want to add one more thing.
Take this thing serious, though. they take the real pronunciation serious. Like I've seen so many programs, like all these Democrats, they make sure they correct it. Like it's not Kamala, it's Kamala.
Guys, you know
Kamala.
what?
I'm like,
but you know what? This loss really hit them hard. They are yet to concede victory.
Yeah, so
they are yet to concede victory.
Yes, they serious pain. They are in serious pain.
Hit them hard.
And I'm enjoying
That's
it.
what happens when you get lost in your own vanity.
Hey, let me tell them something, guys. Let me tell you guys something. I didn't want Trump to lose. I didn't want Trump to lose. I didn't want Trump to lose.
They got lost in their own BS.
You guys, I didn't want Trump to lose.
Their own BS.
Cool. If Trump had lost, I can't wear this hat anymore. Thank you,
no. My God.
my God. Okay, so here's the point that I want to make.
Be celebrating because a lot of crazy stuff is going to start happening come February or January or whenever.
This shit is about to get real. Let me tell you something. Trump is going to. Here's my prediction. Trump is going to end the war and he's going to end the war in Israel. You know why? Because Antifa and these guys are ready now, and they're going to shut down the country. And Trump is going to be like, he's going to call Netanyahu. He said, "You stop, or we stop giving you money."
I don't know if he'll stop Israel, but he'll definitely stop the Ukraine. He couldn't stop Ukraine last time because he didn't control the Senate.
Okay, so here's what it depends on. No, let me tell you.
It's gotten beyond point.
You know why? Because let me tell you why it happened. When Trump goes outside and sees 300,000 people outside his house saying that this has to stop, Trump is very smart. He'd be like, this has to stop. Because Trump is a self-preservationary person.
Yes.
This is someone who touched his ear so that bullet wouldn't kill him. I'm serious. This guy is crazy, man.
Everybody is having doubts about the sincerity of the Ukraine fight now. I mean, even me, when it started,
Ukraine lost that war last year. They lost it last year.
End of story. Then I start hearing other things, and I'm like, and then I see what happens in Israel as a complete contradiction, and I'm like, what's going on? Ukraine used to belong, parts of Ukraine is Russian speaking, belongs to Russia.
Kool-Aid, Kool-Aid, can I say one thing? Kool-Aid, did you know this? Kool-Aid, did you know this? Here's why they gave him his first impeachment, because he stopped funding for Ukraine military, because they wouldn't do what America wants. Hold on, let me finish. So Trump said to you, this is before the war, when Trump was president, he stopped giving funding for Ukraine army. And he said, I'm not going to do it because you're not doing what America wants you to do. And they said that he was using his political power to determine foreign affairs. Do you see what happened? Then as soon as he gets out, Biden starts giving money to Ukraine again. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying, Afolabi? Yeah. So that was Trump's first. The point I'm making is that Trump basically was going to cut funding for Ukraine because it doesn't make sense economically, and they said that he didn't have the power to do that because he was they said he was using his power as president to blackmail Ukraine. He said, if you don't do what I want, I won't give you money to build up to fight Russia. You see what I'm trying to say? So I'm trying to say that the reason they're going after Trump is because he was taking away their money. What do you think, Saeed?
Yeah, you're totally right. That's why I said some of what Mr. Kunle said about Trump this, Trump that, like some normal allegations that people are thinking about Trump. I don't see Trump that way at all.
Yeah, but I think you see him. But I think you also
each time I think you Trump, like Trump, I see a boss.
Yeah.
I see a boss.
But I think he's biased towards Trump. I'm not angry at you.
Himself as a boss.
Yeah, but here's the thing. Because even me, I like Trump, but I'll always say it's for childish reasons. So I think you might be a little bit too partial towards Trump, and you don't want to admit that he has some bad things.
When somebody is good and his intention is pure,
I don't think he's a good person, though.
It
I just think he's a selfish person. But I think at the end of the day, it may end up for some good, but not for all good.
I think that if the Democrats had won, what would have happened? I'll tell you what would have happened. Then the Zionist party would be like, we're safe. The Democrats don't need to do anything or make any efforts to convince Muslims to vote for us. And they'll be permanently
I think by voting for Trump, we save Palestinian lives.
Yes,
because
we
Trump
save
will end it before
democracy
the
in America too.
Yeah.
Because now the Democrats have got this cancer in them called Jill Stein, who stole all these votes. And they're going to say, why did you steal these votes? What did you do? I moved away from AIPAC. Democrats will be like, am I going to move away from AIPAC or not? And then if they do, then they'll actually become a genuine opposition party.
And they'll
That's
win.
not going to happen in the next cycle or the next cycle or the next cycle.
But until they learn.
Maybe
until they learn.
Maybe 10 or 20 cycles before they get it into their heads that they're being controlled by foreign.
But here's the problem. So Kunle, here's my last point. So Kunle, here's my last point. And the only way the Democrats are going to learn that is by losing votes from black people. Black men reduce. Yeah, black people, men stopped voting for them. Hispanic men voted more for Trump. Hispanic women voted more for Harris, but less. The only people who keep voting for Harris are black women. Black women, wake up. I'm not trying to be mean. Wake up, man. The Democratic Party don't love us. They do not love us.
Sure,
and I'm not saying you should. I'm not saying you should go vote. Hold on, I'm not saying black women should vote for the Republicans also, but don't give your vote. Let me tell you why black women should not be voting for the Democratic Party, because black men who are black women's children are dying. Don't give a free pass to people who are allowing a genocide in our neighborhoods. Biden sat down and we are watching the total destruction of the black neighborhood. You see the videos I sent you. No, Afolabi is the beer. The videos I sent you are where black people are getting killed every week and the police don't come. It's because the money's going to Ukraine. So don't give money to the Republicans, to the Democrats. Don't vote for the Democrats. So long, black women, as long as your sons are dying and the Democrats don't want to save them in the ghetto and the hood, don't vote for them. That's all I have to say. What do you think, Kunle?
Who doesn't understand this? When you see on a Tuesday, you see, oh, this Tuesday, 500 Palestinians were killed. 3 days later, 200 Palestinians were killed. And then these people keep saying, we're going to bring our 90 hostages back. It's all about the 90 hostages. And then the next day you hear 1,000 Palestinians were killed. And then you see a baby.
Then you see in Lebanon, you see Lebanon.
We're still going to fight for these 90 people. They're so valuable.
And in Lebanon, 1,000 people died from cell phone. 1,000 civilians died from cell phone booby trap. No, come on, no.
We're going to save the 90 prisoners who are mostly soldiers. Forget about the 20,000 children. No, that's just chaff. It's
how much time do we have left?
Lives that we're all concerned about, and every time I hear that, it actually messes with my mental health.
All right, so very quickly, in 30 seconds, give us your last words, Saeed, then we'll go to Afolabi. We were done. 3 minutes. Good show. We'll continue next week. I
want to congratulate Americans for making the right choice, and I believe
they voted
from the results. I think every American, or should I say majority of Americans, now get it that legacy media has been lying to them, and the last message you passed, it is crystal clear. The people are listening. Black people are listening. Hispanic people are listening. Even Mexicans are listening, that they know that there are bad eggs among them, that they need somebody to flush them out.
Yes.
And this is why you can see that now you can see Republicans, they now control the House, they now control the Senate, and they now get the presidency. That's to show that.
And let me tell you why. It happened. Because the Biden-Harris regime is the worst regime that's ever been since I've been alive, and I'm 50 years old. It's the worst regime.
It's dishonest. It lies with itself.
Not only dishonest, catastrophic, because they presided over the greatest genocide of our generation. They presided over the greatest genocide of our. Well, we know there's Rwanda too, but they presided over a serious genocide.
Since October 7th, I feel we've been taken back to the 1940s. I feel like the world is back in the 1930s.
Oh, that thought, because we have to go back. But I agree with you. We're going to continue from that thought, maybe even this week. So take us out, Afolabi.
Key swing states played a major role in Trump's victory. Wisconsin, North Carolina, Georgia, and Pennsylvania gave him the decisive thing. And it's on this.
Like we said on our last show, we said Pennsylvania.
Yes, we said Pennsylvania. And it's on this note that we round up. And congratulations to Mr. Trump, the 47th president of the United States of America. We will join you shortly to continue with the Trump show. From me,
and Kunle, we're going to pick up from your last point on the next show. Okay, thank you. Okay.
Yeah, from me, from Clay,
there's too much to talk about.
Yeah,
we still have more. We're going to come back on Friday. Don't worry. Okay, thank you.
Everybody, Trump.